I am all about simple meals, and this BISTEC is as simple as it gets. But simple doesn't mean having to sacrifice on flavor. And this dish is the perfect example. Just a few ingredients, and yet it's an amazing, easy meal that's pleasing for everyone. To a bowl, I've added apple cider vinegar, olive oil, oregano, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, and salt. And this is going to be the seasoning for the steak. The cut of meat that I'm using is top sirloin. What I like about this cut is that it's fairly inexpensive, but it stays pretty tender as it cooks. And I've cut it into thin strips just so it cooks a lot faster. Now I'm adding the marinade to the meat, and I'm just going to stir that around and make sure that everything is coated. Now, BISTEC hails from the Latin American countries. The first time I had this was at a Cuban restaurant, and I was very drawn to it. It's a very simple meal, but very, very delicious. Like with any dish, there are many variations depending on which region it hails from or which country. Now, what I am making is going to be a deep, rich gravy packed with onions. So the next thing I'm going to do is peel a large onion and slice it into thick slices. If this is your first time here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and as always, I will link the full recipe below in the description box. For those of you who may have found me through YouTube, you may not be aware that I have a blog, jehancancook.com, where I share a ton of recipes. I've blogged over there for years before I became a YouTuber, so be sure to head on over there. I will leave the link below in the description box. Once the beef has sat in that marinade for at least an hour, we're going to start cooking. To a pot, I've added olive oil, and once the oil is hot, I'm going to add the beef and brown it on both sides. Now, I'm not going to add all at once. I just want to form a layer, one single layer at the bottom of the pan, which allows the beef to brown. And this should take just a few minutes because we're cooking this on high heat. Once it's brown on one side, you're going to flip the other side and allow that side to brown as well. With my kids now home all of the time, I am always looking for simple meals that are delicious, that I know that everyone is going to love. And what I love about this is just the simplicity of it, but it's still really good. And you can serve this over rice with a vegetable on the side, such as roasted broccoli, to create a complete meal. Once I've browned all the beef and I've removed it from the pot, I'm adding the onions. And I'm just going to cook these onions for about 10 minutes, just until they become brown and soften. Now, I felt as though the pot was a little dry and it needed some oil, so I added a little bit more of the olive oil. Now, this is what I'm looking for with the onions, that beautiful golden brown color. I'm going to add the beef with all of the juices back to the pot. Then I'm going to try to just kind of stick it in there and layer the onions on top of it. And then I'm going to add water, just enough to cover the beef. Now, while this recipe is not 100% authentic, it's definitely delicious. This water is going to reduce and it's going to form this thick, rich gravy. I'm going to bring this up to a boil and allow it to cook until the meat tenderizes. That's what you're looking for. You need it to be really tender and for the gravy to reduce and thicken. And the cooking time is going to depend on the cut of meat that you use, also the thickness of the meat. And that's pretty much it. I am going to serve this over rice, add some of that nice, rich, savory gravy. And you guys, look at the steak. It's just tender, really, really good. This is one of those meals that I refer to as Moorish because I just cannot stop eating it. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below, and I will see you guys next time.